What's going on, YouTube, man? Welcome back to another video. Now, before we jump into today's video, man, you should have known what you should have been did. Like, comment, and subscribe. We're trying to save the world. We're trying to save as many people as we can. So make sure you hit that post notification bell so you don't get that post nut clarity, my guy. Now listen, man, as y'all can see by the title, man, we talking about how many red flags I came up with. Y'all see the title, man, but we talking about some red flags you should look out for when dealing with women nowadays, especially the modern women. You know, they always gonna show themselves. You know, in the Bible it says you're gonna know them by their fruits. You're gonna know a person by their fruits. So these 7 things I believe I came up with, these are all red flags. These are all things to look out for when dealing with these modern women. So the first red flag to look out for in a woman, brothers, when dealing with a woman, is if she doesn't have God in her life. Hold on, let me put this. If she doesn't have the Most High in her life, bros, that is a red flag. A lot of women nowadays do not have God in their life. A lot of them don't have guidance. A lot of them don't even have father figures in their life. So if they don't have the Most High in their life, that is an instant red flag. Because 9 times out of 10, if she doesn't have God in her life, what do you think she's doing? What do you think she's doing out here in the streets? If she doesn't have God in her life, what do you think she's doing? You know, she's sinning on a daily. That's obviously what she's doing if she doesn't have God in her life. She not reading the word. She not spreading the word. She not putting other people onto the word. She not drawing other women or other people into the kingdom of God. She not doing that. So if a female that you're talking to or trying to get to know her and she doesn't have God in her life, instant red flag, man. Instant red flag. And I'm not saying that you can't convert a woman into the Bible or you can't convert a woman into Christianity. I'm not saying that you can't do that. But upon meeting a woman, if they don't have God in their life, that is a red flag, man. And I know we all been there at a point we didn't have God in our life. That's why you don't want someone else who's a non-believer. You don't want to give your time and energy to someone who's a non-believer, because 9 times out of 10, they're going to drag you down. They're going to pull you back into the world. When you're not of this world, a non-believer is going to pull you back into the world. Because the enemy can easily hop into their vessel, especially if they're a weak vessel. 9 times out of 10, Eve is a weak vessel. You know, so she's always going to kind of lead you astray, kind of bring you back into the wide path. And you don't want that, man. So that was the first red flag. The second red flag on my list to be aware of when dealing with women nowadays is if her Instagram is filled with half-naked pictures. Bros, I can't stress this enough, man. All them women who promote lust, all them women who carry themselves in this lustful way, they dress so, they don't dress modest. All these women, these are they have the Jezebel spirit within them. All of these women that are comfortable just showing millions of people their body over social media, all these women, best believe that's not the type of woman you want in your life, man. That's not the type of woman y'all want in y'all lives, man. Because 9 times out of 10, this woman, she likes the validation that posting half-naked pictures, she likes the validation that she's getting from doing that. 9 times out of 10, if you're an insecure man and you get with a woman who does things like that, it's always going to be issues in the relationship, because you're going to be thinking that she's cheating on you. She's seeing other men, you know? You're always going to have that feeling in your head. And you don't want to ever go through that when dealing with a woman, man. You don't. So if she's posting, if you go on her page and you see half-naked pictures, man, red flag. Red flag. If she's doing like unnecessary poses, you know, unnecessary positions to show off her behind, if she's doing all of that, man, that's a red flag, man. You know, God is always going to show us the red flags. It's just up to us. He gives us free will. He gives us free will. Are you going to listen to what God said? Or are you going to just follow your own understanding? And 9 times out of 10, when you follow your own understanding, you're being led astray. You know, the Bible says you're going to know a person by their fruits. And I said this in the intro. You're going to know a person by their fruits. I'm going to drop the Bible verse right here. If she's posting nudity, if she's posting provocative pictures on her IG, red flag. Always keep a side eye to that female. The third red flag on my list is if she says period. If she says period, man, that's an instant one, bruh. I dislike when women be saying that period, man. That's a city girl narrative. You know, JT and all of them were saying period. Like be quiet. You just want to where you come from, you know, with that period stuff. Bruh, man, a lot of people I might get a lot of backlash from certain women for saying this. But if a female is saying period after every single sentence, and I'm gonna add something real quick. If she's saying period, if she's calling herself a bitch, if she's saying those two things, red flag, man, red flag. Red flag. No godly woman is gonna be out here saying period. How they do it? Period. I don't even know how they do it. But no God-fearing woman is gonna be out here following the city girls, talking about some period, calling themselves a bitch. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. A lot of these women, man, they going down the wrong path, man. Like, real talk. And they think it's attractive. And that's why us as men, we got to show these women that the way they're carrying themselves is not attractive. That's the only way all of this feminism and all of this stuff is going to end, is if we as men make it be known that we're not attracted to that woman. That's the only way it's going to end. So if she says period, man, cut her off. Pass her back to the streets, man. Pass her back to the streets. The fourth red flag you should look out for when dealing with a woman is if she's double-minded, right? And what I mean by double-minded is if a woman is, you know, shout out to my guy Theo, right? He sent me this video in my Discord. And if you're not in the Discord, what are you doing? Join the Discord, man. Links will be down below in the description. But shout out to Theo, man. He sent a video, you know, to the Discord of this female. She was talking about semen retention. She was talking about semen retention and how good it is to retain. You know, she was encouraging people to go on 40 days of no bussing. And then when I checked her Instagram, what was on her Instagram? She got half naked pictures. You know, she got her OnlyFans. And that's saying you know them by their fruits, man. That saying is so like powerful, man, because it's so true. You know, this female, she obviously gave up on her self-improvement journey. She obviously gave up on we obviously see what side she chose to play for. You know, it was either the narrow path or the wide path, and she chose the wide path. I went on her Instagram thinking she was a high vibrational queen. Turns out she just like the rest of these other women. I'm like, wow. So, you know, if a woman is double-minded, if she's preaching, if she's talking about she loves God, if she's talking about positive things, but when you see this female in person, or you see her fruits, you know, as in social media, what she's doing on social media, how she's treating other people, how she's treating herself, how she's carrying herself as a woman. When you see these things, if she's talking about God or just self-righteousness, but her action says otherwise, that is being double-minded. You can't be double-minded, man. You can't be. If you see a woman talking about self-improvement and bettering herself, but on the other on the other hand, in real life, she's not living up to what she was preaching. Be aware of those type of women, man. Be aware of those type of women, because they will lead you astray. You know, it's kind of like being a false prophet. Kind of like being a false prophet, man. How you gonna tell somebody to do this? How you gonna tell people to do something beneficial for themselves, but you're out here promoting lust? How you gonna be promoting semen retention, but you're out here posting lustful pictures? Like, that makes no sense, man. So stay away from women who are double-minded. You know, women telling you don't do this, but you see them doing it. Or they just not living up to their words. Stay away from those type of women, man. The fifth red flag to be aware of when dealing with women is if she has a lot of friends. Bros, if a female has a lot of friends, that is an instant red flag. That means she doesn't like being in her own company. If she has a lot of friends, automatically you should be like, why does she have a lot of friends? Does she not like being by herself? Duh, she don't like being by herself, man. If she got a lot of friends, distracting her, bringing her down the wrong path, that is a red flag. That is a red flag. You know, and the saying, you are who you hang with, that is very true, man. If a female has a bunch of friends and they're low vibrational, they're not positive, what do you think that makes the female that has a whole bunch of friends? What do you think that makes her? She's the same as her friends. She's the same as the company that she keeps. You know, I'm gonna drop a Bible verse right here that's gonna kind of prove my point with this, especially for good women. You know, most good women, most of them, they be having a bad company of friends, which then turns them out. You know, because most HO3s, that behavior is learned. That's learned behavior. You know, whether they got it from their parents, whether they got it from their friends, that's learned behavior. So if a good girl has a whole bunch of friends and her friends are HO3s, what do you think that good girl is gonna turn into? Come on, man. Like, bruh, if a female has a whole bunch of friends, that's a red flag. 9 times out of 10, her friends are holding her back. 9 times out of 10, her friends are not drawing her closer to God. 9 times out of 10, her friends are constantly in her ear, telling her the wrong things to be doing. She don't have a positive influence in her life, in her friend group. So stay away from women with a lot of friends, man. The 6th red flag to be aware of when dealing with women is a woman of excuses. Beware of women who always coming up with excuses. Beware of a woman who, whenever it's time to meet up, whenever, you know, y'all are texting or y'all want to FaceTime or whatever, and she's always coming up with excuses as to why she couldn't do it or why she couldn't come through. Beware of women like that, man. You know, you don't want to give your time and energy to a woman who's always making up excuses, because that shows you that you can't really trust this female. You know, that shows you that you can't really rely on this female. You can't count on her if anything goes bad. If something bad happens to you, you can't count on this female, because she's always making excuses. She's always going to come up with every line in the book as to why she couldn't do something. You know, beware of women who always coming up with excuses, man. You wondering why she haven't texted you back. She's like, oh, I was busy. Yeah, right, you was busy. Yeah, right, you was busy. Miss me with the BS. Miss me with the BS. Man, I used to dislike it when a girl would be like, oh, I was busy, I wasn't on my phone. Cap. Stop the cap, man. Stop the cap. We know you be on your phone 24/7, sis. We know you be on your phone. And I get it. Sometimes life happens, but we know women, y'all be on y'all phones, man. Stop trying to play a man out. Stop trying to play us. We know you be on your phone. We know you be checking the DMs. We know you didn't have to go to your cousin's funeral as to why you couldn't show up to the date. We know this. We know you just cooped up in the room scrolling through Instagram watching other people's lives. We know this, women. So, man, beware of women who always coming up with excuses, man. Because 9 times out of 10, she just don't like you, bro. If she's coming up with a whole bunch of excuses, she probably just 9 times out of 10 just don't like you. So why would you deal with a woman who doesn't like you, who's always coming up with all the excuses in the book? Just don't deal with that, bro. The 7th red flag on my list as to what to beware of when dealing with women is, and this is gonna kind of wrap up everything I said and just put it all in one. I just want to close it out with this, is the Jezebel spirit. And I want to let you guys know that everyone that you come across in this life, you feel them on a spiritual level before you see them. Because in this world, not all of this is spiritual. It's a spiritual world before it's physical. So you feel people before you see them. You feel their spirit. You feel their energy before you see them. When you feel feelings of, man, I feel like she's a HO3. Man, I'm just getting some lustful vibes around this female. You know, shout out to Nana the Soul, because he really said something powerful, man. He said, y'all ever get around a woman and you just get horny out of nowhere? That is a fact, man. That is a fact. That's how you can sense the Jezebel spirit in a woman. And that is a known fact, because if you get around certain women, you're not going to feel those lustful vibes around certain women. That is a fact. You're not going to. You know, it's just certain women that you just get around them. And this is how the Corn Hub has really messed with our brains. Especially if you used to watch them, you know, Latinas. You know what I'm saying? If you used to watch a certain type of videos, it can really distort the way your brain perceives people. So if you see a female with some nice glutes in public, if you see that in public, it's gonna make your brain react a certain way to that female. And that's why you get the lustful thoughts. That's why you start perceiving certain women a certain way. You know, the sites play a good role in why that is. But if you get around a female and you automatically feel these like lustful Jezebel spirits, if you could just sense it radiating off of her, 9 times out of 10, stick with that gut feeling, man. You know, especially if she look good on the outside, stick with that feeling, because 9 times out of 10, she has a Jezebel lustful spirit within her, man. So that was my 7 red flags to look out for when dealing with women. You know, take heed to everything I just said. Number 7 was most important. That Jezebel spirit, man, you're always going to feel it. You're always going to feel it. It's like a strong feeling that you just get, because we're spiritual beings at the end of the day. If you learned anything valuable or new in this video, man, make sure to drop a like, comment down below your thoughts and opinions, share this video with a friend because they will need this information. You know, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, man. And look, I'll catch you in the next one, and I'm out.